well what the other players are playing, and alright, here we go with the die roll.
And I believe Mikael Mathiasson was up by 1, rolling 12 total.
Yep.
So he will choose if he's gonna go first, I believe.
Yeah, and I can't imagine he doesn't. He chooses to be on the play, on the draw rather.
No.
His deck is more powerful, but less. It doesn't have quite the speedy punch of the Coralhelm combo deck. So no, that's a mulligan.
Yeah.
And Mats is figuring out whether he wants to keep. That's a wooded foothills in the front. Can't quite make out of the other cards.
Is the hand good enough? That's usually a tough question whenever you face a mediocre starting hand.
Yeah.
Mikael, of course, didn't have much mana going in his hand.
Yeah, and Mats also opting to take a mulligan here. So both players gonna start at 6.
Right. And going down on cards, who do you think it favors?
I think Mats. I think it favors Mikael, because he really any piece of interaction can take apart the combo from Mats. He only needs to get rid of one part. Now his deck is full of just general answers. So I think that given he doesn't need that many cards to take care of the important cards from Mats, whereas Mats have cards like Birds of Paradise and Noble Hierarch that Mikael just doesn't need to 1-for-1 against. So,
right, yeah.
I think that the mulligan favors Mikael, although if he has an awkward starting hand, Mats could just run away with the game.
Yeah, very true.
So there's a lot of lands there. There's a Thoughtseize.
And a Lingering Souls, I believe.
Yeah, Polluted Delta as well.
So we could see the good old start at 15 with fetching Black Source, Thoughtseizing his opponent.
So Mats mulligan again here, so this is gonna get tough. Not only is he gonna start at 5 cards, but his Mikael Mathiasson would also take the most relevant of those out of his hand with the Thoughtseize. So this is gonna be an uphill battle to be sure. And Mats already, I believe, isn't very favored in the matchup and having less experience in the format than Mikael.
Right. So Mikael starts at 16, takes
so Scavenging Ooze, land,
Loxodon Smiter.
Yeah.
And Path to Exile.
He could take the Loxodon Smiter. That's a
that's not a really
yeah. You can see the players are joking about it right now as well.
Are you sure you don't want to take my Smiter?
Yeah, sure. It's a 4/4, you know. It's
bigger than much bigger than the Scavenging Ooze. It has to be better.
Yeah. Okay, draws for the turn. I think that was an Overgrown.
Yeah, I think it was another land.
Yeah, not an Overgrown too. He doesn't play black, but.
No play, just passing the turn.
Yeah. So he has the Path and the Smiter, and there's another spell in there, but I can't quite make out what it is.
Yeah. Path not being a very good card against the Gifts deck.
No.
That relies a bit more on Lingering Souls for its threats.
Yeah.
It can of course take care of Tasigur or Elishnorn or something like that, but
yeah, or a Dragon Lord Ojutai, given the
well,
if you time it correctly.
Now, does Mikael have another land in his hand?
I don't know. So here's Sleight of Hand, I believe, and Inquisition. So Knight of the Reliquary and double Smiter.
And
there you go
again offering up the Smiter. Tarmogoyf. And that Tarmogoyf is 3/4, I think.
Yeah, land, sorcery, creature, and creature.
Yeah, so 3 different card types. And I believe Mikael just drew his Wrath of God.
That's not a 9/10. That's not how big the Tarmogoyf is.
That's a 4/5.
So what are we missing?
I'm not sure.
Is Sleight of Hand an instant? I thought it was a sorcery.
No, it's a sorcery. Was there an instant from in Mats' graveyard? I think it was a 3/4. Could be mistaken. Yeah, there's usually an instant in the graveyard in Modern, but not in this scenario.
Now, Mikael's still lacking in lands.
Drawing another discard spell. Well, he knows there is a target for it in hand for Mats Karlsson.
And the Coralhelm.
Yeah. But that Path to Exile gave Mats his 3rd mana, so he could just produce his Smiters here.
Yep.
A 3rd land. Really important here for Mikael.
Yeah, so starting to fetch here, and Mats is finally starting to deploy his bricks.
Yeah,
a bit slow, unfortunately.
I expect Mikael to just cast Lingering Souls here.
Yeah. Is that Burial Rites in his hand?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, he plays a single copy. Obviously, since he's playing a gift deck, his entire deck is mostly one-ofs that he can gift for.
Yeah. And he is able to produce quite interesting gift packages, as they say.
Yeah. And so Lingering Souls here, adding 2 1/1s to the board for the cheap cost of only 3 mana. Alright, so choosing to play the Tarmogoyf instead of the 2nd Smiter here.
I believe it's to protect against Liliana or any other discard spell.
So 5/6 here.
Sorcery, land, creature, instant.
Enchantment from Coralhelm.
Enchantment.
Yeah.
True. Mikael cracking in for a damage.
Yeah, he doesn't have that many ways to gain life, and he's gonna drop. He's at 12 now. He can't keep jumping forever. He's gonna need a more permanent answer to those threats on the other side of the board.
Yeah,
and he's still a bit low on mana. He's still only on 3. So
yeah, Mikael really needs to find his 4th land in order to cast Wrath of God fairly soon here.
Yeah, does he have a Wrath of God in hand?
Yes.
And there's the last land.
Yeah. So I believe we're gonna see a Wrath of God here.
Yeah, that could just spell the end of the game, really.
Well, Mats still has threats in hand.
Yeah, he has. There's a Path to Exile in the Luxon Smiter, and then 1 unknown card.
Yeah. I think Mats had a Geist of Sintraft in hand, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
So Mikael
that could actually be very helpful in redeploying.
Goes with Supreme Verdict first, in case of Mats producing a regenerate creature, perhaps. Noble Hierarch.
Yeah, because he needs the blue mana to play the Geist.
Yeah, but why not Loxodon Smiter?
Sure.
Mikael is probably just going for a gift package here.
Yeah. Does he have gifts in hand?
Yes, he has a gift in hand.
Right, Mats fetching. You're gonna find a blue source and play the Geist most likely.
Yeah.
And then Mikael is gonna play the gifts at the end of the turn. And we'll see if he gets anything. So either he untaps and wraps the board, or he could just find. No, wait. So he could just find Elish Norn.
Yeah.
You could find an Elish Norn and then put it into the graveyard, then reanimate it with the Burial Rites and and then Plague Wind your opponent's board.
Yep.
Without even using the Wrath of God in your hand.
If you're going for some value, you could possibly find your 4 finishers, your creatures.
Yeah.
The Dragonlord, Ojutai, Tasigur, Grave Titan, and Elish Norn. If any one of them goes into the graveyard, you can just cast it from there, but probably he would get the Grave Titan and Elish Norn to the hand.
Yeah, into the hand, and I think you want to be able to resolve the Elish Norn, or rather get into the play so you can actually wipe the entire opposing side of the board. Guys does hit very hard, and Mikael is at 10 life, so he doesn't want to drop that much lower.
Yeah.
Oh, let me choose out of these 2 cards which will go to the graveyard. Both.
I choose these 2 chestnuts, and well, it's not really much of a choice. There's only legal choice.
And here we go on Burial Rights, picking up the. Well, that's probably gonna be the game. Now he does have a path in hand.
Yeah.
Is that another Geist as well?
It might have been, yeah.
Yeah. Though now he can't bring back the Elish Norn again because it went into exile, although he has the Unburial Rights in his graveyard, because he can't bring back the Grave Titan.
Grave Titan matches up very well against most of the cards in Matt's deck here.
It matches up very well against most of the cards, period.
Yep.
Grave Titan
10 power on the
Grave
board.
Titan been great in basically every format.
Yeah. Even sees play in Legacy because it's not a legend in reanimation decks. And produces a lot of power.
Yep.
Not that much in Vintage though.
No, I suppose you want to. It's perhaps a bit too fair.
Yeah. In such a broken format, you don't want to play that.
Yeah. So does it have both Damnation and Wrath of God in hand? Yeah.
Yeah. And now that there's no possibility of taking extra damage from Geist or so, could we see the Unburial Rights here perhaps?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Just putting that Grave Titan into play, producing a few zombie tokens.
Yeah, so now has a Damnation and 1 unknown card in hand.
Yep.
But he also has a Grave Titan on the board, so it's not incredibly relevant.
Gifts Ungiven, Damnation, and
It has another gift. Oh, so he's all gas then.
Yeah, that's all gas. That's protection from black. Get through for 4 damage.
Oh, yeah, voice. Not too bad in this matchup in general.
No. Detention Sphere is a good draw for Mikael.
Yeah, I think Mikael has this game fairly locked up here. He has the mana to play both D-Sphere as well as the gifts this turn, and just cracking in with the Grave Titan. So here we go. Take 10, make 2 zombies.
Yeah.
And Mats.
I have 14 power on the board. How are you gonna deal with it?
Yeah, and Mats not really a deck no, he's gonna scoop them up, go into game 2.
So game 1 goes to Mikael Mathiasson with his Esper Gifts deck. Really impressive performance.
Yeah. So looking at the sideboards here, what do you expect them to bring in?
So
we know he has access to a Ghostly Prison in the sideboard.
Yeah, I don't think that's a very good card against Matt's deck here.
No, because he only needs to attack with 1 creature.
Yeah. Only 1 creature, and you get so much mana from going off with the Knight of the Reliquary that it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Now, I'm not sure how much life, just exactly how big the Knight of the Reliquary can grow, but is
something like 20 power.
Yeah, but do you think it's a consideration for him to bring in Phyrexian Unlife?
It could be, because you can't get 1-shot anymore.
Yeah.
With Phyrexian Unlife in play. So we might very well see that card come in.
Yeah.
Out of Mats's deck,
I would expect perhaps a Dromoka's Command. We did see the D-Sphere there. I'm not sure exactly how many targets for it.
I for sure think Hallowed Moonlight will come in.
Yeah.
Since it stops the Unburial Rights very, very well.
Yeah, he does have access to 2 of those.
And possibly Stubborn Denial.
Yeah, sounds very sensible.
So, Dromoka's Command to deal with the enchantments, possibly.
I definitely think he's going to bring in both the Hallowed Moonlight and the Stubborn Denial.
Yep.
As for the Dromoka's Command, I'm not sure if that's...
That depends if you have anything you want to take out. Perhaps Shaved Paths or so for Dromoka's Command, being a bit more flexible card. But you kind of need the path to deal with Elish Norn.
Yeah.
So it's Yeah, I think you don't sideboard a lot as Mats in this situation.
No. And I think Mikael's deck is also very. Yeah, so he's bringing in at least 3 or 4 cards here.
Right.
Or perhaps he's just doing the old 15 in, 15 out.
Oh, yeah. He might want to bring in Iona in this matchup to really shut down a lot of Mats' deck.
Yeah.
Opts to not play it main deck because it's very, very bad against a lot of decks.
Yeah.
So maybe Iona as a finisher, and maybe Phyrexian Unlife to protect against the combo.
Yeah.
From getting one shot with the combo.
Yeah, I think though that the thing about Mikael's deck here is that once he manages to get to write something into play, I think he's firmly in control of the game.
Yeah.
Really, no matter what that card is. I think he's more inclined to. I think that's a kitchen things he brought in.
Yeah, is that his sideboard or is it what he's taken in?
I'm not sure. I did see 2 Jays there, I believe, and those.
I believe that he might take out the Jaces in this matchup. I'm not sure if he's expecting something like Rest in Peace, but Scavenging Ooze is very good against Jaces as well.
Yeah.
Scavenging Ooze is very good in this matchup in general, because it deals with a lot of Mikael's win conditions.
And we saw Mikael ripping it out of the starting hand of Matt. Now, I think it was a fairly decent game considering that Matt's actually mulliganed to 5 and then got Falsies on turn 1.
Yeah. Well, it was like turn 1, 2, and 3 discard spells.
Yeah. So I'm amazed that Matt's actually had as much pressure going as he was able to muster. Now, those Loxodon Spiders certainly pulling their weight, ensuring that they don't get pulled out of the hand with Inquisition or Foxies.
Yeah. Another card that I think Mikael might be looking at is Timely Reinforcements.
Yeah.
Because it buys him a lot of time in this matchup.
Yeah, and also chump blockers for the.
Yeah.
We saw earlier he was very inclined to use the Lingering Souls just to stay alive properly so that he can deploy his game plan, and Timely Reinforcement certainly works in a very similar fashion.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
And Mats nearly always is going to have more creatures than Mikael due to playing in the Mana Elves earlier. So.
Yeah, and Mikael is not opposed to chump blocking away his creatures so that he can generate more, because he just want to keep his life total up and then win with his gifts and given strategy later on.
Yeah, so here we go. The players are reviewing their opening 7. There's a Polluted Delta, Go for the Throat. There's the gifts in there, a Sleight of Hand, I believe, and the Grave Titan.
A few lands.
Yeah, not too many.
Not too many lands for Mikael.
We might see a mulligan from Mikael.
I think Matt's hand is very good. He has to turn 1 Birds of Paradise with Collected Company later on.
Oh, yeah.
So he might be lacking a turn 2 or...
Oh, so both players are keeping. Here we go. Coral Mats starts up by fetching out. We're gonna see an untapped green source and then...
Birds of Paradise.
Birds of Paradise.
Yeah. It's a very good start from Matt. And Mikael, I'm not sure if he has to turn 1 play. He
looks like it.
Yeah, he.
So we're probably gonna see an Inquisition or Thoughtseize.
Right.
If he's playing Inquisition here, is Matt's just Inquisition proof due to the Collected Company?
There's a second Birds of Paradise,
oh.
But he's proof against anything else.
Yeah. A Sleight of Hand here on turn 1.
Oh, right. And that's the Phyrexian Unlife and Fulminator Mage?
Yeah, so we brought in Fulminator Mage in this matchup. Now, Mats did have some problems with his mana in the last game.
Yeah.
So it could be that Mats didn't quite get together the mana base that he wants for the deck, and Mikael might know that.
Right.
We can check the deck list.
So, interesting point about the mana base in this combo deck. You need a lot of forests and plains.
Yeah.
So you don't play a lot of lands in the deck that aren't forests or plains.
No, but then you can get rid of Keswick Wolfram.
Yeah. Sure.
Which is not unreasonable.
Mats fetching up a Hallowed Fountain here, so he has access to all 3 of his colors.
Yeah, and there's a Knight of the Reliquary.
Yeah, immediately a 4/4 Knight of the Reliquary.
Go for the throat. That's not an artifact.
Goes down.
Okay, it dies. So it draws a Noble Hierarch. I think we're just gonna see a pass and then the Collected Company here.
Yeah, Collected Company at instant speed seems very good here.
Now, how many counter spells is Mikael playing?
Well, he said he played 1, but I haven't seen it, so I'm not sure. There's 1 Disdainful Stroke in the sideboard, and I think that's the only one.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think you bring it in here.
No, it just hits Collected Company.
Yeah.
It's not important enough. You prefer to have your creature removal instead.
Yeah, so Mikael just passing the turn here. Here we go. Collected Company. Quite a controversial card. It took a while for it to really took a foothold in Modern, but now it's a mainstay of the format.
Yeah.
So, because only Pride Mage and a Loxodon Smiter.
Powerful cards, but no Knight of the Reliquary.
No, unfortunately. So,
Murderous
Cut, kill your 4/4.
Right. Pride Mage not nearly as powerful.
What's your thinking of doing that before Mats gets to untap?
Well, Mats has this Stubborn Denial in sideboard.
Absolutely. Right, so hit it for 4 here off the Exalted trigger.
Yeah. And does Mats have another Collected Company? Or is he just mana flooded here?
That's definitely a Wooded Foothills, I think. Could have been a Stomping Ground.
I think he has a Stomping Ground in hand right now.
Yeah.
Lingering Souls from Mikael.
Yeah, very good against the Exalted strategy here.
Yeah. Yeah, that buys him a lot of time.
Yeah, essentially 4 jump blocks. So fetch, thinning out the deck just a little bit.
Did not have the second Collected Company. Oh, it's just the Birds of Paradise and a land in hand.
Yeah,
and
so
I think he drew another land for the turn.
Yeah.
No, it was Knight of the Reliquary.
Oh, really?
Oh, or is it Dromoka's Command?
So he did bring that in. He did see the
that's
Detention
the
Sphere.
Dromoka's Command.
He did see the Detention Sphere in the first game, so...
Right. Dromoka's Command is a very interesting card for Modern. It has a lot of modes that are very relevant in a lot of matchups.
Yes.
But it hasn't seen a lot of play so far in Modern.
Yeah, it's also a bit awkward because it requires 2 targets. So it's not always that you can use it when you want to.
That is true. Most of the time in a creature heavy deck like Mats's, you can just pump something you control.
How do you like this pump here? If you're Mats, how do you like instead putting the counter on the Hierarch and attacking with both? That way, Mikael has to. You can guarantee you get some damage through.
Yeah, I would prefer to keep it.
And there's the D-sphere off the top just after the Dromoka's command has been resolved. So really unfortunate for Mats here, and
I don't really see the value of Dromoka's command being cast there at all. Mats.
No, he got rid of a 1/1. That's about it.
Yeah,
so, Voice of Resurgence is a good draw here.
Sure.
But I think Mikael is just gonna start untap gifts and then.
And this is a Grave Titan.
Oh yes, he actually has one in his hand. It's just gonna hardcast it. So yeah,
6 mana hardcast the Grave Titan.
This might just spell the end of the game right here.
Yeah, Mats needs a really good sequence of draws here in order to come back into this game. So
But can he though? He has basically all of his removal is spot removal.
yeah,
So he basically needs to find spot removal for the Grave Titan, take care of the tokens for creature combat, and also take care of whatever gifts package that Mikael comes up with in the following turn. And Mats really has just bricks in his hand.
yeah. What was the draw for the turn?
I think it's another fetch land.
That's pretty miserable.
That's a basic island, I believe.
Oh,
So basic island, stomping ground, and then is that another Birds of Paradise?
yeah, I think so.
So I think this game might just be over. It's gonna be very difficult for Mats to come back here. And he has neither of his combo pieces, so otherwise you might want to try to search for the combo pieces so that you can combo off in one big turn. Oh, so Kessig Wolfrun.
And he has access to red mana thanks to the Birds of Paradise.
Yeah, that's actually very relevant.
He can pump 4 power on the Voice of Resurgence if he so chooses.
Yeah. If you're Mikael, do you just take it?
Yeah, I think Mikael's line here, just blocking with the Grave Titan, forcing Mats to spend his entire
turn just
Yeah.
in order to just trade.
yeah.
I mean, that get a 3/3. That does hold back the zombie tokens.
Sure.
It will take 2 in the air from the spirit tokens, but the bleeding has been stemmed temporarily at least. So now Mikael does have a Grave Titan in his yard, so I would expect him to play find the Embroidered Rite as well as perhaps the Aleshnorn again with the gifts he has in hand, and then follow that up with the Embroidered Rites. So that another Embroidered Rites will just wipe Mats' board and give Mikael lethal. So
Yeah, very true.
I think that's probably what we're gonna see here.
Yeah, and Mikael just going for the gifts and given straight up here. He seems to be one of picking a value gifts here rather than the combo. Combo being, of course, reanimation of a huge spell.
Yeah, but what are you afraid of in that case? I suppose your opponent could have Hallowed Moonlight.
Yeah.
He's tapped out right now, but you need to untap. You can't go off this turn anyways. So you know that your opponent has Hallowed Moonlight in the
Well, you
sideboard.
might just wanna make sure that Kessig Wolfrun can't kill you,
Yeah,
because you're at 10 life right now.
absolutely.
So getting 4 removal spells, 2 to the hand, might just be enough here.
Yeah.
Ghostly Prison and Oblivion Ring seems fine to get to the hand here. I don't think you wanna give Mikael any of the instant speed effects,
I agree.
but I'm not sure. Mats disagrees and gives him Ghostly Prison and Slaughter Pact.
Yeah. Right, so plays the Ghostly Prison. Now, one of the upsides of giving him the sorcery speed is that you can activate Kessig Wolfrun fairly safely. Slaughter Pact obviously has the major downside of Mikael. Well, he has to pay the upkeep cost on the next turn, but he has plenty of mana available, and being able to kill the creature even when he's tapped out is a very powerful play. So I'm not sure what Mats is considering there, but he's certainly more familiar with his deck than I am. So there might be some interaction that I'm missing.
Yeah, and Mats is just attacking with the Birds of Paradise here, paying 2 mana for it. Can pump it to deal 3 damage this turn, I think, if he so chooses. Mikael, of course, has the Slaughter Pact, but could possibly just take the damage. Yeah, big spell from Mikael would be great for him. This is a very close game right now because.
You think so? Isn't Mikael firmly in control of the game?
Probably I wouldn't say no, because that Voice of Resurgence token and Keswick Wolfrun is quite huge threats, but Mikael is ahead right now. Mats, of course, has draws available to him that are very good, very powerful, but Mikael doesn't have enough power in play to just...
And there's the Phyrexian Unlife we talked about earlier, so Mikael now having plenty of spare life to deal with, to use, so to speak.
Retreat to Coralhelm was the draw for Mats.
Yeah. And is that another land in hand? So he can play the Coralhelm. Now, he could play the land to get the Scry trigger.
I think you want to do that.
Yeah, I think it's better than to conceal the information, because at this point, if you're Mikael, I think you just assume that your opponent has nothing, considering that you spent the last turn paying mana in order to attack for a single point of damage.
Yeah, you gotta find something as Mats in this situation, and every scry matters, every draw step matters.
Yeah.
So. I believe you played the land, yeah.
Yeah. Plays a tapped Scry, goes to the bottom. I assume most of his deck goes to the bottom at this point.
Yeah, it's probably just collected company.
Yeah, all lands, so Knight of the Reliquary would be good.
Yeah.
Otherwise, all of the mana elves, all of the removal spells, and all of the if he brought in more than one Dromokas command, that could be interesting, because Mikael has several enchantments in play right now. So attacking, getting the Exalted trigger, making him sacrifice an enchantment, and then fighting one of the tokens could be a very relevant play if he brought in more than one of the Dromokas commands.
Right, yeah.
He does have two in the sideboard, so I would assume both of them came in if he deemed one of them worthy.
So Mats, they're just drawing a card and passing the turn. Is this a collected company? It is.
Yes.
Very good draw for Mats.
Yeah, so he could just untap Knight, and then now could he combo off here? That's 25 damage he has to deal. So Goyf and nothing. He just hits a Goyf.
Oh, that's really bad. A single Goyf is not enough here.
No.
And I believe Phyrexian Unlife, when you take damage, it doesn't matter how much you take, you don't die and stay at 0, more or less. So that every damage after that becomes infect, right?
Right.
So if Mats would deal infinite damage,
he would still just go to 0, and then he would have to deal infinite damage again.
Well, 10 damage.
Well, yes, but sure.
Yeah, but yeah, it's good protection for Mikael to have here.
Attack with my very large Goyf. And Mikael is shaking his head. Fetch.
Perhaps expecting to go down to 0 life this turn, so he wanna use his fetch lands beforehand.
Yeah. No, does that matter though? I mean, you could get down to negative life with the fetch lands.
But you can't pay life that you don't have.
Absolutely.
So if you're at 0, you can't activate your fetch lands.
You pay life, you don't lose one.
Yeah, exactly. So Tarmogoyf at 5/6 right now with an Exalted trigger, and the Keswick Wolfrun in play. I believe that Mikael says just no blocks. And
do you know what he has in hand?
Mikael.
Yeah. Does he have any spell?
I don't think so, but I'm not certain. I think Mikael pretty much has a blank in hand right now. This is like a Thoughtseize or something.
Alright, so Mikael Mathiasson at 0 life, at 1-0, but not quite dead yet, still hanging on by by the Phyrexian thread. So he draws a card, consider his board.
Attacks for 2 with the spirit token.
Now, how much damage can Mats deal?
That's a
Wrath of God.
Top. Huge draw for Mikael. Huge draw. With Mats down to 4 life, any threat from Mikael is really good right now.
Yeah. Now, and Mats draws a blank.
Yeah.
And Mikael doesn't, so that could spell the game here.
Gifts ungiven with 5 mana up. So this is really, really good.
Yeah, so Mikael. Now he can just... Does he have a haste creature? Is there any way for him to win this turn, or does he still have to untap?
I don't think there's any way to win this turn, but he has a lot of options to go for here.
I think you should just Unburial Rights for the...
Iona?
For the Grave Titan. Did he bring the Iona in?
Because yes, he brought in the Iona.
Okay, because you could play the Iona, name white.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if you take either the Ojutai or Elishnorn, Mats still has Path as a available play for him.
Yeah.
But if you take the Grave Titan, at least you will still be putting up lethal threats on the board with the zombie token. So I think finding Unburial Rights. So Sun Titan, is that a Limbala?
Sun Titan, Iona, Elish, and Unburial Rights. Now, this is a very interesting because Mikael has 5 mana up, so he can cast the Unburial Rights even if it goes to his hand.
Yeah.
So what are you least afraid of here?
Sun Titan, I think.
Yeah. And how do you manage these piles? So
I think you have to put Sun Titan and Unburial Rights in the graveyard.
Right, leaving the Elish and
no, but wait, he still has the Grave Titan in the graveyard.
Right.
So
Iona.
Hallowed Moonlight off the top.
Now that's a huge draw for Mats there.
Yeah. Did he also... so he flashed back the Unburial Right, so it's no longer in his graveyard.
Yeah.
So which means that he's... So, let's see. So he has one more turn, then he can start deploying those threats that he has in his hand.
Right.
Because he does have a lot of mana, but still, Mats is still in the game. That's a second Coralhelm.
That was a huge draw for both players.
Yeah.
That gifts and the Hallowed Moonlight.
Yeah.
Mats perfectly setting it up so that he knew that the Unburial Rights was gonna target the Iona, and he got it to be exiled for good.
Yeah.
Perfect play from Mats there. He's still in a tough position, given that Mikael now has Sun Titan and Elishnorn in hand.
And I think he has a dead draw in his hand in the second Coralhelm.
Oh. Yeah, that's not very
now,
good.
if you were Mats there, do you just play it so you could get the double scry? But
depends.
Or do you save?
I think I'd play it. Yeah.
So Elishnorn, draw. Are we gonna see a handshake here? I think that was a land.
Scavenging Ooze.
Oh.
Retreat to Coralhelm. Scavenging Ooze just dies though.
Oh right.
Thanks to Elish. And is it land the last card? No, it's a Geist of Centraft.
Yeah, there's the handshake. Alright, so Mikael Mathiasson, our winner of the semifinals, advancing to the finals and will be facing off against Simon Jansson with his red-green Tron deck.
Yeah. Very, very interesting. Welcome back to the booth. I am Jens and this is Felix.
Yep.
We are here at the Scandinavian Invitational in Täby, Stockholm, Sweden. It's not really Stockholm, I guess, but
no.
Täby, Sweden.
But I think that really Mats really was on the back foot in both of those games and was just up against it all the time. Mikael just trading resources, and just when Mats was running out of resources, Mikael still had that gift in hand to refuel and then enact his game plan. So Mikael just one-for-one with the things he needed and wiping the board, making sure there weren't any threats from that side. So I really don't. I think that was the matchup and the experience was both in Mikael's favor.
Oh yeah. Mikael really brought the the better deck to the table, I feel, in this matchup specifically.
Absolutely.
Perhaps not for Modern overall, I can't argue for that, but those sweepers did a lot of work against Mats, and he has so much removal available to him, so effective finishes with Iona, Elishnorn, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So really powerful play from Mikael there. Unfortunately for Matt, he is now out.
Yes.
And Mikael is advancing to the finals against Simon.
Yes, so we'll try to get Simon up and get the feature match up and running as quickly as possible, so we can get the some more modern action going for you here.
Yep. And Simon piloting a red-green Tron deck, like we mentioned before.
Now, it has some new inclusions. He's playing Ulamog the Ceaseless Hunger from Battle for Zendikar.
Powerful addition to the deck.
Yeah, I know that a few 12-post players have been very excited about that these new Eldrazi coming out of the current block, and while the Tron deck doesn't quite get as much mana as the 12-post deck does, I assume many of the same concepts still apply.
Yeah, of course they do, because the Tron deck generates a lot of mana.
Yeah.
And Ulamog is really powerful. The old Ulamog that destroyed the permanent used to be played, but it's so much more effective to exile double permanents.
Yeah.
So it's really worth a lot, that upgrade.
Yeah. So we'll be taking a short break here while the players are getting ready. So we'll be back in just a moment with some more modern action for you.